Alright everybody, welcome back to the shop. The other day I got in here and I reprimed these areas. So I've got to do a little bit of wet sanding just to get rid of the overspray again. But I don't think it turned out too bad. I've got all this area right here. This is where I made the repair. I got a little bit of something here, but that'll be covered up. This crack is gone. So that was the main thing. A lot more work for a little bit of crack, but maybe it won't take too long to run some sandpaper over this and smooth it up, and hopefully we'll be getting ready to mount it. And I think I'm going to wait until after I get it mounted to actually seal it. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to paint this bed. I had originally thought about building a tent over it, but we got too many critters, too many bugs out here, so that ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna have to get it in the booth, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to end up spraying, getting it over on this side, spraying this side, and pull it out, put it over here, spray the other side. And if I do, that's just the way it's gonna have to be. Not the ideal way of doing it, but I'm going to try to see what it looks like in the center first. But I'm just about believing I'm only going to have about a foot on each side. I'm just not confident enough that I can do a good paint job with just a foot or so clearance on each side of it. So we'll see how that goes, and of course got to get all this junk out of here. After we get this mounted, we'll clean this thing out and I'll get ready to back it in here. Alright, so I just finished the wet sanding and rinsed it off good. You can still see a few high spots. Here's one, but that sealer will cover that up, and it's smooth, so I'm not worried about it. You can kind of see where I almost got down to the where I had put that Bondo glazing compound, and got back down a little close here, a little high spot right here. But yeah, I think everything will cover up now, and so I'll bring you back in a couple of days and we'll get ready to hang this, and if I can, I'll video it. Alright, so this time I decided I'd go ahead and mount the wheel well on the bedside before we tried to mount the bedside. I'm hoping it's going to be a little easier, but everything's going to have to slide into place kind of all together. You can't just kind of get one end in and the other. It's all got to go in together. My mother's coming down to help me out, so I'll set you up and we'll get ready to mount it. We'll video that, see how much trouble it is with the wheel well, and probably have to speed it up, but anyway, we'll do what we can. Alright, so that went pretty well. A whole lot easier than trying to put it on with it already on, that's for sure. The only issue you had was I guess I didn't explain myself very well. I told my mom that this had to slide in. Well, she had it, I couldn't see it, but this part was up on top, so as we slid it over, it scratched up the epoxy a little bit, but I'm gonna have to respray the floor anyway, I think. So yeah, it all went together pretty well. Just got to bolt it up. Alright, I went ahead and mounted the hardware for the tailgate, and I went ahead and prepped these two areas right here for tacking. And there's really no movement in these bedsides once you get it, the wheel well's bolted in. Alright, so hopefully everything's going to fit just fine like it is, and I can just take everything back off and tack it up. So I'm going to go get the tailgate and stick it on here and bring it back and see what it looks like. Alright, so I run into a little bit of issue. This panel that I welded in is it sticks out too much. So it's going to have to be cut and bent over to match this other panel right here. The tailgate will not slide down in here with this sticking out like that. And I'm afraid it's too long just to try to bend like it is. Unfortunately, that's going to be a job, I'm afraid, to get it to bend where I need it to bend, which is right down this line right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit off and just start tapping on it. And looking at the other side, it's bent over all the way down to the bottom here. So that may be fun. I knew it should have been bent. I was hoping to get away with it. Hope the light's worth flipping here. You can kind of see there. So I'm going to work on that and I'll bring it back. Alright, so I fixed that little area. It ain't the best job, but it does work. And I got this tailgate up here. Now the top of the bed was needing coming in, so what I did is I put a strap from one pocket hole to the other and ratcheted it down until I got the seams fairly close. Now it's a little tighter over this side than it is on this side, but that'll be alright. So I'm ready to take the bed off, and what happens is the bottom spot welds holds the sides together, and then the top spot welds holds the inside the way it needs to be. So I think as far as the side to side goes, we're good. So we're ready to go ahead and tack this together. And I think once we get this tacked in, we'll be able to just really quickly put a couple spots on the bottom side. Alright, so final shot of this video. Got this thing tacked up. Couple there. I tacked this one a little high here. Should have all been around here at the bottom, but it's kind of hard to get to. So I got a couple there. And I got one right down in there. I don't know how good you can see. So now I'm going to pull it out. Get it raised up a little bit in the front, wash it out good, and get it back in here into the booth. I'm going to move that tailgate out of the way, and we'll see how it fits. So next time, come back and hopefully we'll be ready to start sealing again and getting us some paint on here. So thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't.